all year I've been training for the Big 5 Marathon in South Africa. Now that that's over with, what's next? So today I want to have a look at what's coming up. What am I going to be training for? What races am I going to be doing? And what races do I want to be doing? It's been about a month ago that I ran the Big 5 Marathon, and I haven't done a whole lot of running since. If you watch my travel videos, you may have noticed that we did a lot of sitting in cars, driving around on safari and doing tours. I did the run in Cape Town, and since I've been back, I've done a couple of runs, a 16K training run. I did the Carnival run, which is 10K. I did a 5K interval run when it was really hot out. That was probably the hardest run. But today I'm doing a half marathon. I'm doing my circle around Vlaardingen to see if I can still do it. And hopefully, if that's the case, then I'm still on track for my training. So what is next? My next big race is actually a couple of races. The 36K challenge in Disneyland Paris. That's gonna be the end of September, and I'm looking forward to that a lot. I love those races. That's where the running actually started for me, training for the half marathon at Disneyland Paris. So yeah, going back there every year has been a real treat. Now, I'm actually doing the marathon in Berlin the week after. So I'm actually training for the marathon, which means I need to do more long distance runs than actually I would for the 36K challenge. It's been really hot out here in the Netherlands. I read in the paper that, I sound like I'm 80 now. I read online that it actually hit a record high. They said it was the hottest day of the century. I'm not sure if they mean this century or like over 100 years, because it's 2019. I'm not sure how good of a record that is in 19 years, the hottest day. But oh well, it was hot. It came up to 40.7 degrees Celsius. That Fahrenheit here. Down here where I am, it was 38, still very hot. And it was just way too hard to go out running. So today it's a little cooler. We had some rain last night. It's 23 degrees. It's very humid though. It is very tough, but not 38 degrees. So. Last year I ran the marathon of Athens, and I was struggling with a knee injury. So after that I didn't do a lot of running. So I basically had to start all over again in January for my training for the marathon that I just ran in June. Now for the Berlin Marathon, I'm already ahead of schedule because I've been running all year. I've taken a little bit of time off now, but if I can still run this half marathon today, I'll be on schedule, and I can build it up to the 30K that I want to be running the week before the 36K challenge, so I'll be ready for the marathon the week after. Now the next big race after that is going to be the Dopey challenge in Disney World. There's a bit of time in between, so what I like to do with that is after Berlin, I'll cut down my distance a little bit. I like to stay comfortable at around 16 to 18K, do a lot of runs of that distance, and then build it up again to around 30K for the marathon, for the Dopey challenge. So yeah, that's my plan for that. I think it's always good to have goals. So I like to schedule my races and look ahead for races that I want to be doing. It can keep you motivated, it can keep you looking forward, keep you focused. So that's why I like to look ahead and see what's coming up and schedule my races. Now I happen to have a lot of races that I want to do, a lot of places that I want to go running. And you can only do so many races, you can only run so many marathons. So you kind of have to pick your races. Plus, not every race is really easy to get into. Now, one of those races is London. I have entered the ballot this year to get into London. In October, I'm going to find out if I get to run it or not. That is one of the hardest races to get into. I tried for this year, hoping again for next year. Now, the New York Marathon is another one of those races. I'd really love to run that race. It's one of those iconic races. I heard about that when I was a kid. My uncle actually ran that race. So I'd really love to run it. I love New York. Been to New York a bunch of times. And I think it's a great city. So I would love to run there. Schedule-wise, this year, I know it's not going to happen. So I might be looking at next year. And yes, these are part of the 6 majors, and I kind of want to do all 6 of them. I'm already doing Berlin this year, so London, New York, Chicago, Tokyo, Boston. Boston's just going to be the tough one though, because that's the hardest one to get in. And for my age group, I need to run under 3 hours and 10 minutes, I think, which is, yeah, really tough for me. The time alone is going to be a struggle. But seeing that most of the marathons that I run, I film, so that puts me nowhere near running under 3:10. Maybe I'll try for the other ones first and see if I can get into those, and then if I do, I'll have a bigger incentive to run Boston as my last of the 6 majors. Now, a marathon that is on my schedule is the Great Wall Marathon. It's another one of the Albatross Adventure Marathons. You go running a part of the course over the Great Wall in China. Now, that's not for next year, that's for the year after. But 2021, the Great Wall. Okay, that's another thing that I can't have anymore for a while. Ice cream. Now, that's another one of my goals. I have a weight loss goal, because when we were doing the game drives, the tours, we were sitting down in cars. We were sitting down all day long and eating a lot. We had all inclusive at the lodges we were staying at. A lot of buffets. A lot of desserts. There was just so much eating. I gained 5 kilos, which is this much in pounds, which for me is a lot. So yeah, that has to come off, which means back to training, back to eating right, no more sugars, and getting ready for my 36K challenge. Now, 5 kilo weight gain might not seem like a lot to you, it might not seem like a big deal, but it kind of is a big deal to me. It is a big deal to me. It kind of bothers me. So the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because I think that maybe sometimes in my videos it comes off as that I know what I'm doing, I'm always running, I'm always training, I'm telling you what to do on your training, I'm making schedules for everybody. And it might seem like it comes easy for me and I don't have to work at it, which is not the case at all. I have to be out there running. I have to put in the distance to get ready to run the races that I want to run. I have to do the exercises so that I don't get injured. I have to do a lot of stuff myself as well. So the things that I'm telling you to do is the stuff that I need to do too. I have to work at it. We all have to work at it in order to be able to get to the goals that we want to achieve. And now I have a new goal, and I need to lose this weight. It never has really been this big of an issue to me because I'm always running. I don't eat a lot of sweets. I mind what I eat. But now it is, and it is kind of a big deal to me. So I figured I would share that with you, that I have a new goal. Now, I mentioned Albatross Adventure Marathons before, because I just ran the Big 5 Marathon with them. I'm planning on doing the Great Wall Marathon with them, but they've also added 2 new marathons recently. One is the Volcano Run in Iceland, and the other one is, they call it the fastest marathon in Spain. That one is downhill the entire course, so maybe that would be a good one to do to try and get my Boston qualifying time. The Volcano one in Iceland looks amazing as well, so those 2 are also kind of on my list. The fastest marathon in Spain is the same weekend as my races in Disneyland Paris. Seeing that the races are always kind of the same weekend, I'm hoping they're going to switch that one to maybe the week after next year, so I might be able to do it next year if it's the same weekend. Next year, again, I will be running the Disneyland Paris races. It's going to be my 5th year, so it's an anniversary year. So yeah, I'll definitely be there. There are also some local races that are coming up that I'm looking forward to. Some urban trails. There's a new run here in Vlaardingen that's kind of like an urban trail. It's an urban herring run, which looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. In Nijmegen, there's a Zeven Heuvelenloop, the 7 Hill Run, which everybody's always raving about. That is one of the best runs in the Netherlands. Schedule-wise, it's just never matched up, so I've never been able to run it. This year, I've signed up, so I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, I don't always have to travel really far for my runs. But now you might be asking yourself, why do you run all these races? Why do you have to travel the world to run all these marathons? Especially if you're not a runner, you might be asking yourself this. But for me, it's about the experience of the race, the course that you're running through these amazing cities. Rome was beautiful. I loved Rome, and being able to run past all the beautiful sights of Rome in just one race is just amazing. And then the people on the sidelines cheering you on, the atmosphere of the race. It's just amazing to be there and to be able to run that race. So that for me is the #1 reason to do it. And also crossing that finish line is just a great feeling. Whether it's a half marathon or a full marathon, you've worked towards this. You've worked toward the goal to be able to cross that finish line, and to then finally do it and get across that finish line. That's just a great feeling. I must say, running my first marathon, it was very emotional. Getting to that finish line, crossing it, knowing that you've worked so hard for it, and also the feeling of it being over a little bit. It was kind of sad yet joyful. Everything mixed together just made it very emotional, and it's a very satisfying feeling. Okay, that's a half marathon for me. So that means I'm on track for my training. How's your training going? Are you on schedule? Are you struggling with something? Do you need help with something? Let me know down below in the comments. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Until next time, get out there and run.